Hey, this is a weird year. Normally, we'd have you come visit our school, but this year we can't. So, we made this video. We're super pumped that you're coming to Bert Bowes. Couldn't be happier. In this video, we're going to show you things like how to read your schedule, who some important people are, and why Bowes is awesome. Let's jump in. This is Mrs. DeBulte. She's a counselor, basically an awesome helper guide. If you have questions, she has answers. She's going to be in the video, lots. This is Mr. Gill. He's our principal. He's fun, he's energetic, he likes guitars. That's Miss Hipkiss. She's our vice principal. She's also super helpful, a lot of fun, and an artist. And that's our building. 2 floors, great students, lots of fun. Let's get started.
Well, we would like to say hello to Owen. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Owen's going to tell us a little bit about Bert Bowes and his experience here. So, Owen, tell me what your favorite class has been.
My favorite class would have to be leadership, mostly because I get to do announcements,
Yes.
which I really have a passion for. I actually signed up for the entire month of June, which hopefully we'll be back in school for.
Yeah.
And I also get to go into grade 7 classes to do lessons. And that's really great because I feel like I have a direct impact on the school community.
You were kind of made to be like in front of people, Owen. So the announcements things is really good. Like you were made for it. Do radio or something. Tell me something else that you enjoy about Bert Bowes.
Something else would probably be the different clubs you can join. I personally was involved with the debate club and Students for Change. And I think getting involved in the school community is really important because that's like investing in it.
Yes.
And when you invest in something, you want it to do well. And the more people who get involved, the better Bert Bowes can be.
Tell me one of the things that you've done with Student for Change.
Students for Change, every year around Halloween, we do a big food drive called We Scare Hunger. And each year we get about 2,000 food items for the local food banks, which is really great.
That's a great one. That's a really great one. Are there any other clubs in the school that maybe you're not involved in, but that might be of interest to somebody else?
There's archery, which is mainly an after-school club, and then there's the Gay Straight Alliance.
Yeah, that's good. And they're always changing every year, so new clubs come up every year according to what kids are interested in. All right, do you have any advice that you would give to our incoming students?
So some advice for grade 6 students coming into grade 7 would be open to change, because when I personally came in, I was really clinging on to those friendships that I made in grade 6, because they're kind of your safety net. But Bert Bowes and middle school, the years you spend there, are very formative for you as a person. And you're going to change a lot, and it's very likely that you might grow out of these friends.
Yeah.
So I say, knowing that they're formative years, just take middle school and your destiny by the handles and just put yourself in some uncomfortable situations that are outside of your comfort zone. Because that's really when personal growth happens. And personal growth is what it's all about.
I want to cheer for that. That's so good. Yes. I totally agree. And oftentimes, Owen, we hear that a lot from the incoming grade 6s coming into grade 7, that they really want to be together with their friends. And but then we also hear at the end that how grateful they are that they've built all these new friendships that they weren't expecting when we put them in classes with other people. So just know that, like Owen said, it's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
You'll still get to see all your friends, you'll get to be with some of them, but you also get to make lots of new friends. So thanks, Owen. Thanks so much for sharing with us.
Thank you.
So, what's the deal with lockers? Well, they're blue, they're not big, but they're not small, and they're yours. Your locker is put right outside your homeroom. So if you're super worried about having to run from your locker to your classes, don't sweat it. We tried to make your life a little easier. Are you nervous about learning your combination? Well, don't worry about that either. We help you practice. A little bit to the right, a little bit to the left, once more to the right. With a little practice, you'll get the hang of it. And if you forget, your teacher is always there to help.
Josiah, thanks for being here and willing to talk to some of our incoming grade 6s, going to be grade 7s next year. We're trying to give them a bit of information about Bert Bose. So tell them what your favorite thing about Bert Bose is.
Well, Bert Bose is I really like it. It's a fun school, way better than Kearney. The woodwork class is really fun, so is leadership. That's only grade 9, but I've really enjoyed it so far. And all the electives are really fun, and PE class is fun, although there's so much fitness.
Tell me what your favorite class has been so far.
So far, I really enjoyed woodwork. I did woodwork for electives in grade 7 and 8, and then in grade 9, I went as an extracurricular thing to do gravity cars for Skills Canada.
Cool.
And we went to Dawson to do that, so that was fun.
Tell me about that. Tell me about what you did for Skills Canada and what that is.
Well, I did the gravity cars, which is you pretty much build a car and roll it down a ramp.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it's really exciting, especially because you see a bunch of different cars, and I actually got first place, which was really, really cool. And yeah, it's just learning to do skills that are actually useful in the future, and
Cool.
yeah, I really enjoyed that too.
So you did that outside of class time?
Yeah.
You got to do the Skills Canada, build the car.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it was a few lunch hours a week, and then after school was a few days a week.
Cool. Okay. Tell me who your favorite teacher is.
It would probably be either Mr. Hammond or Mr. Dennis.
Ah, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about them. Why do you like them?
Well, I really like Mr. Hammond because he's super chill guy, and he's always open to new ideas and stuff, and he kind of lets you do your own thing, and he doesn't tell you no, that's not gonna work. He's well, let's see if it works, instead of no.
And Mr. Hammond is the one that helped you with the car. He's the woodworking
he's the
teacher.
woodwork teacher.
Ah, okay.
And
that
then
makes
Mr.
sense.
Dennis is the French teacher, and sometimes he can be a little much, but I don't know, he's a lot of fun to be around, and yeah.
Awesome. And I should let everybody know he will be one of the French immersion grade 7 teachers next year. So you guys will get to meet him. So that's really cool. What are some of the fun things you've done in leadership? You said you liked leadership class, which happens to be the class that I teach.
Yeah, I really enjoy leader class, doing the grade 7 lessons, going in their class and doing random lessons about random things.
Cool.
It's kind of varied things that we teach. And I really enjoy the spirit assemblies. Those are really fun. You go and you do a bunch of games, and then that's the way to get classes with more house points.
Yeah.
And yeah.
They can kind of get crazy, can't they? Yeah. So we divide our school, probably much like many of you do, into 4 different house colors where we compete throughout the whole year in order to get points for the big cup at the end of the year. So those spirit assemblies can get kind of intense at times when people are competing for those points. Well, thank you, Josiah, for doing this with us. I sure appreciate it.
So a question we get asked is, what does my schedule look like? Well, there it is. In Bert Bose, we have 2 days. That means on day 1, you go to day 1 classes. On day 2, you go to day 2 classes. You're gonna stay in your grade 7 classroom for about half the day, or all the subjects in yellow. Then, for the other half of the day, you'll go see other teachers and take electives like metalwork, woodwork, textiles, art, French, digital literacy, and music. And hey, if you forget what day it is or where to go, don't worry. Everybody forgets, even the teachers. The best thing to do is to ask for help.
This is Kylie, and she is here to talk to us a little bit about Bert Bose and why you guys are all gonna love it. So Kylie, thanks for being here. Why don't you start by telling us what your favorite activity was at Bert Bowes?
At Bert Bowes, my favorite activity was definitely the school sports because I felt like there was always a community and kind of like a family that you built or whatever because everyone got so close because of all of the time that we spent together.
Yeah, that happens with teams a lot, doesn't it? Why don't you tell everybody some of the options for school sports that they can play?
So for school sports, there was volleyball, basketball, badminton, track and field, cross country, and soccer.
Yeah, there's lots, right?
Yeah.
And that changes up depending on the year if there's interest in certain things. I know one year we had wrestling, and I think that they've done archery and different things. So it depends on the population, but there's lots of them. So that's the cool thing. Tell me about a favorite teacher that you have.
My favorite teacher was probably Mr. Brooks because I was in his band from grade 7 to grade 9, and I'm also a part of his jazz band, and I have been for the past 2 years.
Nice.
He's made a really big impact on my life because he's just like always there for you, and he's willing to change things to make it so that it works, and he's just so open.
Yeah. I always think of Mr. Brooks with his coffee cup.
Yeah.
He walks around with his coffee cup. Super chill, right?
Yeah.
So you're a bandy and sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are covering all the bases. All right. So should I even ask what your favorite class was then? I feel like I could guess, but tell me.
My favorite class was gym.
Ah, okay.
It was probably just because there was just always physical activity and it wasn't just sitting in a classroom and listening to people talk or like writing, and it was just...
You get to move around a little bit. Okay. Tell me some of the things that you would do in gym, because gym will, all of the different activities change because we got lots of people in the school doing gym, sometimes several classes at the same time. So what were some of the activities that you did in gym?
So it always changed, but we did gymnastics. Sometimes we went skating. We went to the curling club. The field house was also used. There was also like the normal school sports like basketball and volleyball and badminton. And then there's also a lot of dodgeball and stuff like that. So.
The fun parts of it, yes. We've been known to have dodgeball tournaments at times with the whole school, which is always fun. So that's good. Do you have any other advice that you would give to any students?
Probably just put yourself out there and don't be afraid to go and meet people because everybody's pretty accepting. So it doesn't matter if you're different because it's good to be different.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. That seems to be a common theme too, of just go in being willing to experience new things and put yourself out there, and it'll be a great year for you. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Are we gonna dance? You go that way, I'll go this way. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So why don't you tell our incoming students what your favorite part about Bert Bowes has been?
My favorite part about Bert Bowes is probably the teachers because they're just so like loving and caring and like they're always there when you need something.
That is so good to hear that you feel like that. Do you have any advice for grade 7s that are coming in?
Some advice I would give you guys is just like be calm and don't be scared about coming in. I realize it's a scary school, but like everyone here is so nice and these have been like the best 3 years of my life ever.
That is so good to hear.
And it's just like, it's just so amazing and I just love it.
That's awesome. You said something about teachers and just how great the school is. Who would tell me about a good memory you have or a teacher that particularly stands out for you?
Well, my favorite teacher is Mr. Pearden because he's so like relaxed and he's just like a really fun teacher.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
If any of you get to know him, you'll need to get him to ask to rap for you. You should ask him to rap for you. He's pretty good at that. Do you have any advice for our grade 7s that are coming in?
Just like be yourself and don't let anyone change you because like you need to like just
it's good advice.
Yeah.
To try and just be yourself and not worry too much.
Like
right?
don't change for anyone else because it's not the point.
Yeah. There's, you know, it's interesting because You've probably heard us say this before. There's a lot of things that are very similar about middle school as to elementary, and then there's some things that are different, right? So it's important to know that you're coming in, it's not something totally different. So you can totally be yourself when you're here. Shay, do you ever eat at the canteen? We get lots of questions about our canteen.
Yes,
Do you?
I do.
Okay, tell everybody a little bit about the canteen and what happens at lunch.
Well, there's like the things that you can eat there. There's Subway, there's Edo, and then there's pizza on Thursday, which is
It's a big
pretty
day.
crazy
Yep.
because everyone wants it. And then there's like some days where they make lasagna and chili, and like the ladies there are just so nice.
Yeah, it's awesome, hey? Lots of different variety throughout
Yes.
the week. And where do you eat lunch normally?
I mostly eat it in the lounge with all my friends.
Yeah, that's cool. We're gonna do a tour of the school for everybody later, so they'll get to see what the lounge looks like and where you're talking about. So that's cool. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Are you gonna do a little dance out?
Oh, I didn't see you here. It's time for announcements with Owen. So this is out to all the grade 6 students coming in for grade 7 next September. And that is going to be on September 8th, which is going to be a half day. On this day, you will get to know which class you're going to be in for the year. And it's really important that you wear some comfy clothes and don't bring school supplies because you're going to be moving around a lot. And don't even bother bringing a lunch because you're going to get home and get a nice home-cooked meal. Have a fantastic day.